At some point, you begin to notice something strange. Not dramatic, not obvious, just subtle. You're still part of the group. You still show up sometimes. You still listen. You still laugh at the right moments. But you're no longer fully there. You can feel it when conversations circle around the same shallow topics, the same complaints, the same excuses, the same jokes repeated until they mean nothing. You sit there, physically present, but mentally somewhere else. Not because you think you're better, but because you're building something they're not. Discipline has a quiet side effect no one talks about. It creates distance, not instantly, slowly. You don't announce your goals. You don't lecture anyone. You don't even change how you treat them. But your routines change. Your priorities change. Your tolerance for wasted time changes. And somehow, that's enough. You start noticing small things. You hit a milestone you worked hard for. No one brings it up. No one asks about it. Someone changes the subject or points out a small flaw just to balance the room. You don't confront it. You just register it. Another time, there's a party. Everyone talks about it afterward. You realize you were never invited, not out of hostility, just omission. And that omission tells you more than any argument ever could. You begin to understand something uncomfortable. Your presence makes people uneasy. Not because you judge them, but because you remind them of effort they're avoiding. When you live with discipline, you become a mirror, and not everyone wants to see themselves clearly. This is where many people misunderstand what's happening. They think their friends are evil, jealous, malicious. Most of the time, it's simpler than that. Your discipline exposes a gap between what people say they want and what they're actually willing to do. That gap creates tension, and tension looks like silence, distance, subtle resistance. You also start realizing something else. The potential you once saw in them wasn't always real. It was projected. It was what you would do in their position, with their resources, with their time, with their opportunities. But potential means nothing without discipline, and ambition without structure is just imagination. Some people were given everything early: support, comfort, safety. They never had to fight for momentum. So when pressure arrives, they don't adapt. They depend. Without constant help, they stall. You, on the other hand, were forged by repetition, by showing up when no one cared, by building without applause. That difference matters more than people admit, and it separates you. You didn't choose this distance on purpose, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize you're no longer compatible with environments built around distraction. You don't fit into conversations designed to kill time. You don't blend into groups that survive on comfort. And that can feel lonely, especially when you've always tried to be a good friend. Respectful, loyal, present. But discipline doesn't always make you popular. It makes you inconvenient. Because you quietly prove that change is possible. And that makes excuses fragile. So you stop trying to explain yourself. You stop shrinking to maintain harmony. You stop expecting understanding from people who benefit from misunderstanding you. Not out of bitterness, out of clarity. You accept something most people avoid. Not everyone wants you to win. Not because they hate you, but because your progress destabilizes the version of themselves they're protecting. That realization doesn't harden you. It steadies you. You learn to move forward without needing approval, without needing to be included, without needing to be celebrated. You understand now that discipline has a price, and that price is often distance. But distance isn't failure. It's alignment. And once you accept that, you stop trying to belong to places you've already outgrown. You keep building, quietly, consistently, even if you walk alone for a while. Because you finally understand something simple and heavy. Growth doesn't ask for permission, and discipline doesn't wait for company.